Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Indie Zone. We are continuing to review and provide opinions on the public records that are available for us to view in Idaho versus Kohberger. In this episode, I would like to direct your attention to the demand for discovery disclosure and alibi disclosure that the state of Idaho has now served on Mr. Kohberger. It is dated May 23rd, 2023. This is directed toward Mr. Kohberger and his counsel. What are some of the things that the state's asking for here in this discovery demand? And this is the first time we're seeing a discovery demand by the state. We've spent many episodes previously talking about the discovery requests that Mr. Kohberger has served on the state, motions to compel, supplemental requests for discovery, hearings that were filed based on motions to compel. Everything dealt with Mr. Kohberger's request of the state to turn over discovery. And discovery is the evidence that Mr. Kohberger believes the state had in its possession, custody, or control that led them to conclude that he and not Ms. Smith or Mr. Jones was the perpetrator of the crimes at 1122 King Road. So here in the state's first request for discovery, they are wanting things, evidence that Mr. Kohberger intends to produce at the trial, the evidence that he will rely on in his defense of the case against him. Now, he doesn't have to put on a defense at all. It is always the state's burden, beyond a reasonable doubt, to show that the accused is the perpetrator of the crimes they've been charged with. The defense could say nothing, do nothing, not put on a defense, and we've seen that happen on occasion. But many, many times, especially in a death penalty case like this is, a defense will be put on. So state wants Mr. Kohberger to turn over such things as the names of witnesses that he tends to introduce at trial. He wants the other evidence, the prosecutor who signed this document, such as scientific reports, any sort of expert reports that will be introduced at trial. And he wants these things to be produced at the prosecutor's office where they then can be copied. Same location as the courthouse, same location where Mr. Kohberger is being held. The alibi information is they are now demanding that if Mr. Kohberger intends to rely on some type of an alibi defense, that is to say, I was not at 1122 King Road at 4 to 4:25 a.m., the time that the crimes occurred per the state, I was somewhere else. So they want information regarding any alibi defense that he may introduce. And like a defense in general, a defendant does not need to introduce an alibi. This is only if he intends to introduce an alibi, and there's time frames from when he must put the state on notice and provide information under Idaho law. If you'd like to take a look at this document, please follow the link that I have included in the description of this podcast. And as always, my name is Kathy. These are my opinions. Thank you for joining us here at the Indie Zone.